you will observe I've been busy. You can almost see it on screen here. But, I did not do research. We are getting into a time period I know much less about. 1518 I can do. 1525, we're rapidly getting out of what I can comfortably offhand talk about. So I'll have to do some research. But, instead of doing any of that research, I made a board. You can almost see it. There's no way for me to write it dark enough for you to actually see it. But, we have about half of the characters on there right now. And all of our suspects for who killed Lawrence Rothvogel. And who's dead. So Ferenc over there is dead. And Piero is dead. And Lawrence is murdered. And yeah. You'll be listening in, but not for long. Because you're a bit busy writing a paper instead of enjoying National Screw the Habsburgs Day. Well, that's fair. We are going to celebrate National Screw the Habsburgs Day by, simping for Charles V. Wait. This may not be very good at screwing the Habsburgs, is it? But we did in fact choose Iberia specifically because Charles V was also the King of Spain. And because I wanted to know Arabic. But you know, that's fine. Kadesh, did you see Floyd playing Card Shark yesterday, and is that a potential stream game? Of course that's a potential stream game. I saw Card Shark, and it's great. Oh, simping for who? Charles V, the Holy Roman Emperor and King of Spain, in 1525. Also a Habsburg. So, you know, we're like that. But that is okay. We have, what? Apart from the colonialism, I can't, and the, imperialism and the, exploitation of the New World. He was very chill, and by chill, I mean wrote very angry letters when the, Bishop of Cordova dropped a cathedral in the middle of the Umayyad Mosque of Cordova. And, Micro Martina, welcome. Glad you're able to make one live. The normal stream times, unfortunately, are kind of the best compromise I can do, but I'm glad you're able to make this one, what is for me a weird time, but is for you a nice pleasant evening stream. And math, this is the Charles who is king of half of Europe. Yes, this is the guy. But since he was in Spain, what better for an artist from Bavaria than to also go to Spain? Alright. Anyway. Let's get into it, cause things are getting spicy, and we are sad about it. So let's do that. Huh. We may be updating the conspiracy board throughout. We'll see. We'll see how much we need to. I'm sure the answer will be very much. But also, if you missed the previous stream, we finished the first act of the game. So we did in fact accuse someone of murdering Lawrence Rothvogel, and it was Prior Ferenc. We just asserted on the basis of dubious evidence that he is in fact the one who did the murder. He didn't do the murder. Chat, we just lied. But the other option, we decided that Lucky Steinauer was completely justified if he did the murder. And we're not about to throw Sister Matilda under the bus here. And, well, we didn't investigate Attilia at all. So, yeah. This dude, Nuremberg is technically in Swabia, but we are from Nuremberg, but we are currently in Tassing. So, and that is in Bavaria. So we have... We're gonna pretend. Also, we are old. We then, so we got Piero off the hook. We got kicked out of the Abbey. We were told you're not welcome back in the Abbey ever again. We finished our masterpiece. It was adorable. And we told Piero we'd come back to visit. It is now 7 years later. Piero is dead and we have a beard. Also, we are so fancy. We are so freaking fancy, and I love it. Like 16th century fashion, not a thing I know an unusual amount about. That being said, we're seeing this trend rapidly emerging of very, very, very stupidly wide layered shoulders. Right, think about portraits of Henry VIII and just how much shoulder there is in those clothes. And we got it. We got the very skinny legs and the very buff shoulders, and it is delightful. Also, yeah, we got a purple note that said, "Don't come back." It's been 7 years. Guess what? We're back. This room is sparse compared to what you're used to. Yeah, well, it's nicer than the gardener's place. Oh, this is lovely, though. Hello, Hannah. Hello, Andreas. How are you enjoying your stay? Honesty? Not our best policy. Not our best policy. Well enough. Perhaps my husband can provide something else to make your stay more enjoyable. You are most welcome, Master Mahler. Was there anything else? Also, we are officially a master. And it has been 7 years. In those 7 years, we spent a couple of them in Nuremberg, and then we went on travels. We could have gone on travels to Poland, or France, or England, or Spain. And we went to Spain. This is our apprentice, Conrad. And he saw our work in a cathedral. On an altarpiece in a cathedral in Nuremberg, and was like, please, 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 until we said yes. Oh, is it Casper? Is it Casper, not Conrad? We met him very, very briefly. I'll remember his name eventually. Ah, Master Mahler, is it? Hello, and welcome to the Golden Hat. I am Nico Berger. I own this land house. I run it with my wife Hannah and our son Killian. I believe my boy helped you to your room. Is it to your liking? It suffices. I see. We will strive to exceed your expectations during your stay. Is there anything we can do to make your stay more enjoyable? I will learn his name eventually, Andreas Mahler. Math! We have feather pillows, yes. We can provide some for a modest price. That'll be fine. We can afford it. Very good, Master Mahler. When you arrived in town, one of the locals said you lived here a few years back? We should have taken Paul as our apprentice. We're checking up on Paul's stat. Ah, I see. I heard that you were involved in solving a murder. I heard it was the prior at the Abbey. That Baron was a sacrifice in some diabolical spell the brother was casting. That... He wasn't casting a spell. Why did you hear that? Oh, bits and pieces that people have said here and there. Sounds like the story has changed in the last 7 years. No, I meant no offense, Master Mahler. I just find it to be an interesting story. Well, it's not a story, it's something that happened. 2 people died. I have to go. Of course. Again, I meant no offense. Yeah. Well, I'll leave you to your day. No, until later. Bye. Oh, well, that's fancy. Who are you? Samuel. Samuel, I love your outfit. Look at this outfit. This man is fancier than we are, and that is an achievement. So my assumption is this guy's a Landsknecht. Hello, Andreas. Right, I'm just assuming he's a Landsknecht. Let's take a look at, like, the stupid fancy fencing manuals. Look at the... Look at this. Look at how fancy these are. Wikipedia is a phenomenal source for these images. Because, you know, they have open access. They make things open access. And, it's nice. There's another print of one from the period. He's got two swords. He's got a sword there and a sword there, and I'm not sure why, because they're both two-handed swords. I guess in this case if your first sword breaks. But right there, extremely fancy. Landsknecht, in my understanding, are basically semi-professional. Like, they're soldiers for hire, often, but they make their living off of various mercenary work. And sometimes, like, vague short armament, vague, like, knight errant is not the right word here, but sort of the wandering around picking fights with people. Hi, Killian. Good day, Master Mahler. Alright. We're going out to the meadow. What? Otto and Martin? Hello. Just do it, you know it's the right thing. I don't understand why this is so hard for you. Otto, I'm scared. It's dangerous to cross the abbot. Would you prefer the alternative? You don't need to do that, Otto. I understand, I'm just saying... Andreas? Andreas Mahler? It's good to see you again, old friend. Otto, you're looking well. This is my apprentice, Caspar Ziegler, from Salzburg. Okay, his name is Caspar. A small city located on the river Salzach and founded on Roman ruins. Rumors of violence and rebellion in the city are becoming more common. Caspar's hometown. Uh-oh. Violence and rebellion, you say? I'm sure that's going to be fine. Good day. Oh, that answers that. I thought he might be your son. But we don't grow them that fast, even in Nuremberg. They grow fast enough around here. Evan and I just had our first. Little Otto, though we call him Utz. He's adorable! Sweats and Grey Peasant Uprising? Exactly. Look at how cute he is! Congratulations to you both. That's wonderful news. Well, thank you. It's been a trial with Dad gone, but Clara and Ursula help out with... Oh no! Ursula got cuter! That's not true. Ursula is so grown. You didn't realize Salzburg was a center for the Reformation? Basically every urban center in the Holy Roman Empire is a center for the Reformation. Like, it's hard to find one that wasn't. This is true, but also, that's life. At least he's with the Lord now, free of his aches and pains. I know Eva wrote to you about my father's death, Andreas. Why didn't you write back? Zoe! Hello. Right. So, chat, here's the part where I acknowledge my the current limits of my knowledge of that. If you want a detailed rundown of the Reformation of the Holy Roman Empire and the Great Peasant Uprising, not today. Not happening today. Because instead of doing that research, like I meant to, I made the conspiracy board. Sorry to interrupt, but I should be heading back. I feel like I should remember your face, but I can't place it. Don't trouble yourself, it's me, Martin, remember? You've grown. It's been known to happen with children. As much as I love whiling away the hours in the meadow, I have a lot to... This isn't the Martin we know and hate. I'll see you at the meeting later. Andreas, until the meeting? The last time I saw Martin was in this meadow. He was sneezing, seemed to hate being here. His mother cat said he always sneezed when he was in the middle. Strange. Is it strange, or are you just confused? I know what I saw. Are you sure? Until then. Are Martin being a good boy? Pain in my ass. Okay, some things haven't changed. He still's a pain in their ass. Hey, something happening in town? You picked an interesting time to visit. Come by the town commons in a while. I think you'll be interested to hear what I have to say. Just on my way to see Klaus. Tell him to come too. He's been dragging his feet. Until later. You got your copy of Caliban and the Witch by Sylvia Federici to use as reference for the Great Peasant Uprising? The many-petaled song foil. It grows so easily some consider it a weed. Still, I think it has a certain charm. Alright, Paul. Oh, hang on. Schlau's still here. Chat, everything's okay. Schlau is still alive. We just got an achievement for that called A Regular St. Francis. Which is an excellent reference. Top tier stuff. Absolutely top tier stuff. Because St. Francis of Assisi was known to be a friend to animals. Particularly birds. He would preach to birds. But animals in general, according to his hagiography, when he proclaimed basically himself dead to the world, abstained all forms of wealth, and wandered off into the wilderness. It was originally the animals that were the first people to listen to him, and from him the Franciscans. All right, Lonely Spaceport. Good luck with the X-rays. Let's hope it's not arthritis. Andreas, I heard you were back in Tassing. God bless you. Oh. Oh, we're still like this. Oh, we are still this person, aren't we? God, we're so good at being a layperson in the 16th century. Just, fuck you, we're not going to Mass. I would hope that in the many years since you were with us in Tassing, attending Mass has become a habit. That, and I'm sure Master Mahler isn't staying through Sunday. Hopefully this visit will be less eventful than your last. Tassing has enough going on as it is. We have our bonfire for Our bonfire for St. John's Eve tomorrow night. The feast and celebration of St. John the Baptist beginning at sunset on June 23rd. Coincides with Midsummer's Day and the summer solstice. Oh. Oh. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I love midsummer festivals. This, Walpurgisnacht, harvest festivals, etc. are incredibly spooky in this period, and I am excited. And then it's my job to hear their confessions in the days that follow. Not to mention the grumbling the peasants are making. Let's just talk, brother. No need to scare our guests with such things. I'm sure if there is trouble, Master Muller will be the first to stick his nose in it. Why are you always such an asshole? It's easy enough for you to come and go. You don't have to live with the consequences. After Ferenc was executed, Father... Oh. Father Abbot made Matthew the new prior. He had... No, he had one moment of having a take we agreed with. He truly is the worst person you know said something you agreed with. Ferenc may have been annoying, but Matthew is even worse. Thanks for that. It would have been better for everyone if you had simply allowed Brother Piero to die. After all, he only had a few years left anyway. He's just standing there, menacingly. Actually, Andreas looks genuinely kind of intimidating with the beard now. Nothing to say for yourself? Friends, there's no need for such ire. Forgive me, Father Thomas. I let my passions get the better of me. Besides, that's not even why I came down here. I actually came to speak to you on the Abbot's behalf, Andreas. Father Girna would like to invite you to come to the library tomorrow morning if you're interested in purchasing some of our books. Oh, wonderful. Fantastic. Wait. I mean... This is my mental thought process, word for word. We did not see Paul. He wasn't at home. The Müller household was completely closed. Aren't things so bad? The Abbot has to sell off Curaçao's greatest treasures? The Abbey needs the money more than it needs ink-stained parchment. No one values these books anymore, except perhaps you. The library is not quite ready yet, as it does not see much use. If you can come by tomorrow morning, Mother Illuminata can show you what's available. Mother Illuminata? Did Cecilia pass away? And Illuminata took her place? Mother Illuminata? Yes, since Mother Cecilia passed a few years ago. Alright then. Hello, Elzadef. Well, I suppose Illuminata knows the library better than anyone. You hadn't seen the board? Oh yeah. No, we're like that. Just, I did not do research. I made a board. It is not complete. It is not even close to complete. But we are making progress. I'm sure he'll be overjoyed. And Andreas, I apologize for my harsh words before. It was rash. Ha! You love the conspiracy board? Amazing. Brother Piero was a pious man and a skilled artist. We miss him. I appreciate you saying that. I miss him too. Excellent. I'm so glad you two were able to work things out. Oh, Brother, Father Thomas, do you have a moment to speak inside the church? Yes, I think so. Why? A private matter. No, of course, of course. Until tomorrow. God bless you, Andreas. I also wonder if the Anchoress is still here. Can we just knock on the window and say hello? Because I am very oh, that's Klaus's house. I didn't even catch that. Our Lady of the Labyrinth? That's an unusual name. Brother Voicelove uses time in almost all the Abbey's cooking, maybe because it grows so easily here. Yeah, I'm saying if Václav is still here. That is exactly what I am doing, don't worry. Václav, nope, that's the Shrine of Saint Satya. The shrine is okay, that's good. How's the waterfall doing? Anyone over here? No. Old Otto's no longer here. Duck! Quack! Bunny! Owl! Quack! And the gravestone Lucky left flowers at. 2 innocents. Still's there. What a journey we've had so far. I know, right? It's been so much. Andreas has become fancy. Smoke you some? No one is here. There is a fire burning, so they can't be too far away, but nobody is here. Only took 17 hey. Just because you're right doesn't mean you have to say it. Martin's house is closed. Is Attilia still around? I'm guessing that's a no. The strange figurines have... The strange figurines have left. So that bodes poorly. Seems like nobody is around right now. Anyone over here? Wow. Nobody is around right now. Alright. I guess we'll do plot then. We'll wait for confirmation before we update the conspiracy board, but I suspect Attilia is no longer with us. Also, the fact that that's Martin's house is interesting. Alright, Klaus. Hello. Aww. Look at the painting. He printed a portrait of them. They're so cute. Hello, Magdalene. Bah! Andreas. I'm sorry, Klaus. I know it's been a long time. 7 years. 7 years and nothing from my friend, Andreas. First... No. What? No, game. Don't do me like this. Don't do me like this, game. My wife always thought highly of you. I can't... No. it? No. 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 Fuck. I don't want this. No. Fuck, that's brutal. Fuck. God damn it. Okay. So, guess we're doing the heavy stuff today on stream. Mother. Live research time, I suppose. That's good. Our world in data is okay. Child mortality rate, Europe, 16th century. In Sweden, studies on mortality since the Renaissance. This isn't super recent. This is from the 1940s. So, let's not rely on these too much. That being said, this looks like it is primarily. Yeah, this looks like it's primarily general mortality of women there. Got the married women. Ruling families, childless women, higher age groups, discussion. So this doesn't have child mortality, which is unfortunate. I'm gonna say unfortunate, but I need to be careful of saying that. This is just an HTML page. That makes that easier to look at. But this is a huge volume. You're just about to head to bed, but you don't know if you should be glad you popped in. I'm glad to see you, even though this is not a happy topic and time. Like, this is difficult. But yes, please take care. And this isn't getting 16th century. Also, these are all lit reviews, which is difficult. Let's just go back to the Our World in Data one, because that should be close enough. Mortality rates over the last 2 millennium, 1500. England says about 27%. Ah, hell. There's a gap. They have a gap in our data. France, in the 17th century, 40 to 50%. Potentially. Oh, this is infant mortality, this is youth mortality. Gotcha. There's a big gap of data of non-infant youth mortality. But the cluster here is suggesting, right, probably that 40 to 50% is about, like, right? Somewhere, right, somewhere in this range. But yeah, right, 18th century Sweden, every third child died, and in 19th century Germany, it's almost 50%. So, I mean, that is representative, yeah. There's a lot of variability in this, right? This is obviously an incredibly difficult topic to research, because there's going to be so much variability across class, across gender, across geography, where what's true in one town may not be true in another town, and it requires incredibly deep archival research in order to identify that, to try and do that sort of analysis, right? So really focusing on this, like, specific manorial records, church records, things like that, to look for baptisms and burials, and see if they've noted, you know, post-mortem baptisms, or anything like that, on analysis of graves where they're still legible. All of that material is incredibly necessary to do this research, and so really getting super localized is extremely difficult and time-consuming. But speaking in generalities also isn't very helpful. Regardless, though, we can probably suggest, right, that this is extremely common. And so there, right, it is not a surprise that insofar as we're making... Oh, look. Quote from... Is this from Caliban, Zoe? But yeah, they... If we're trying to represent the period honestly and complexly, it is necessary to represent maternal, infant, and child mortality. It's also, right, as an emotional and affective decision, incredibly goddamn gut-wrenching. Like, historian hat on, player hat off, this is really smart. Because it's a character that is just delightful and wonderful and we love in Act 1. So we build that attachment, and then it's taken away from us. So it puts us in this sort of grief mindset, right? Everyone's shook when this happens. Player hat on, wow, this fucking sucks. I hate that this is a thing we have to go through. I'm so sorry, Klaus. There's no good answers here. Yes, you should have. Too late for that now, though. Hi. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I love her already. Oh, hello. She likes you. Oh. Your business seems to have grown. What are you printing? 12 articles. They were originally written by Swabian peasants who were demanding changes from their lords. Can this kitty be pet though? Litzel, it doesn't look like this kitty can be pet. It's very tragic. The kitten is perfect. The kitten is delightful, but I don't think we can pet her. Zo'n artikel instructen zu Vorgängermen werden fein. Von Onrotzene und Haufenden Paaren vorweg selber... Ja, selberman verpflicht haben. 1525. But man, this is a perfect woodblock print. I love it. I love it. Freedom from serfdom, freedom to hunt, use the woods as God intended, freedom from compulsory labor. Abolition of the inheritance tax, fair appraisal of rent, return of property to common use and ownership. Bavaria isn't Swabia, but their complaints are just as valid for the peasants of Tassing. Swabia, a former duchy in the southern Holy Roman Empire, it was reformed as the Swabian Circle in 1512. It borders Bavaria to the west, the Swiss Confederacy to the south, and Austria to the southeast. Are these uprisings the ones contemporary of Goetz of the Iron Hand? Believe so, yes. Let's confirm that. I have the power to confirm that. But yes, I believe Goetz, is in this... Yeah, it is this period. He was born in 1480, died in 1562. So, yes, these are the uprisings, that Goetz is talking about. But Goetz was around Nuremberg, so these might actually be the ones he was talking about. At least some of the time he was around Nuremberg. Chad, if you don't know, Goetz of the Iron Hand was a 15th, early 16th century professional mercenary, who got his hand blown off earlier in his career. And he had made a metal prosthetic hand that was at least partially articulable and had various add-ons that he could put on it. And he also was an incredibly prolific writer, and so he journaled everything. He journaled his entire career over like 30 years of being a professional mercenary in the 16th century. It is so freaking cool. And is exactly the sort of text I would expect to be seeing here. This must be what Ada was talking about later. He wanted me to bring you along. Yeah, he's asked. I may come, I may not. The abbot has been squeezing the peasants for years. Now he's squeezing the townsfolk, and we're pushing back. Their cause is righteous, Andreas. If you haven't seen the Gertners lately, you should visit them. And, Otto, how do you print these? Yeah? Why? Well, I didn't think you could read. He can't, but just about everyone else in town can. Rolled. He speaks, I print. Just trying to do my part, I suppose. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm still not in the mood for this late reunion. Come back for dinner tomorrow. You should go to the comments, hear what Otto has to say. It's worth hearing. Be good while we're gone. Will you be good? Gah! She... blah blah blah. The baby babble. Hello, Ivysaur. It is welcome. Are you coming in from VOD watching? Or you are new to the channel? It's a new toddler for us to... Oh, Lucky's house is not looking good. The Albin Bakery. Hey, how's Stoltz doing? I'm sure Stoltz is... Oh, this town's growing. the Rathaus construction is going smoothly. I wonder if they'll finish it before winter. The Rathaus. You're new? You're looking for streams of this game? Amazing. Then welcome. Yeah, I have bachelor's in medieval studies and a master's in medieval Scandinavian studies. I'm currently working on another degree in cultural heritage. I'm also a published academic in the field of doing historical outreach with video games. And this game is my special interest. So, come in, hang out, have a good time. These are super fun. Actually, I'm a little surprised that they don't have our outhouse yet. Yes, the donkey with bagpipes is an Inculinati reference. And, you know, we'll be playing that game when it comes out. It's supposed to come out in the next couple months. So, let's keep an eye out for that, because that's also a game that features medieval gothic marginalia a lot. And we're gonna have a good time with it. But yeah, I'm surprised they don't have a outhouse. Yet. It makes sense given that they're a small town, but these, right, are much, as a concept, they're much older than the 16th century. The Hanseatic League, in particular, establishes them all over the 13th and 14th centuries in Northern Europe. Well, Zoe quoting again from Caliban and the Witch. During the Protestant Reformation, some among the best 16th century German artists abandoned their laboratories to join the peasants in struggle. They drafted documents inspired by the principles of evangelic poverty, the common sharing of goods, and the redistribution of wealth. Hey look, Franciscan ideals. Some are minorities or the kind of spin-off extra movements. They took arms in support of the cause. The endless list of those who, after the military defeats of 1525, met the rigors of the penal code mercilessly applied by the winners against the vanquished. You missed the last one because you were busy dying. Well, I'm glad you failed in that, and I'm glad you're here now, Asu. But yeah, right, the Hanseatic League establishes rathhouses all across the Baltic coastline. Obviously, they're operating on the other side of the Holy Roman Empire, right? They're based in Hamburg, Lübeck, Tallinn. And so, right, Tallinn's Old Town Hall is a Hanseatic house, which is going to be stylistically pretty similar to what they're building here, even though it's mostly earlier. I know there were renovations in Tallinn's in the 17th century, question mark? I said no and then put a question mark on it. I was there recently, I've already forgotten. But they're super cool buildings. Oh, Cult Totem. The armchair historians live on. Honestly, at this point, I'm not even going to remove the Cult of the Lamb streams rewards, because they are... The armchair historians shall live on in our hearts, even though we finished that playthrough. Anyway, they're super cool. I'm sure Werner is not happy about... Oh, a new house. I wonder who the Isenkopf is. I wonder who this Isenkopf family is. I'm sure we'll fall in love with them like everyone else. Alright, town commons time. Oh, there's everyone. Everyone's here. Wow. So many people. Oh, Attilia is still alive. Yes, let's go. Let's see, who all do we know? Going from the end, we've got Lucky Steinauer and Agnes. They're still around. Till is still around. Big Jorg is still around. Il Peter is still around. Not so Il Peter is still around, though getting old. Eva and Tiny Otto is around. Ursula and Clara are... Ursula's adorable. Wait, does Paul have a vest? Parisianin, hello! Welcome. I'm glad you're able to make it. I know things have been a bit rough over there for you. So, hopefully they are getting better, and I'm happy you're here. Does Paul have a vest? I don't know which of these two is Paul. Is it the snot-nosed kid or the one standing next to Elsa? There's Hetty, a couple folks I don't know, the bakers. Where's Anna? Chat? Where's Anna? Don't do me like this, game. Don't you dare. They already got burned. They can't. Don't. Everyone, listen. We all know why we're here. Nothing I'm going to say will be a surprise. Nothing I'm going to say hasn't already been spoken behind closed doors, whispered to your neighbors. Nothing I'm going to say is untruthful, so it's time we started saying it openly. Year after year, the Abbey has found new ways to tax the peasants. Piece by piece, the Abbey has taken away our rights to use God's forest to support our families. Law after law gets heaped upon us. Restrictions on how we can pay rent, limits on where we can move, who we can wed. And now the death tax, which once claimed only our best animal and garment, takes half our estate. No consideration for widows. No consideration for children. What about the town council, the rat house? Surely that is a sign that the abbot wishes to share his power, to listen to our grievances. You have a good heart, Ulrich. You always want to see the best in people. But no. The council is a way for the abbot to divide us, to pit a favored few against the many. Oh, Peter, or not so Peter, is agreeing. Or this is not charity. No, only greed and desperation drive Father Gurno. You think that if the abbot could, he'd steal a dead man's soul from heaven itself. Hey, what's that? Gurno's a jackass? Who could have predicted this? And when we protested, what did Father Gurno do? He locked the shrine of Bastard. He won't allow the people of this town, the farmers of this land, to pray before the relic. Now, when we most need the intercession of our saint, the abbot has shut us out. Father Gurno's actions aren't just. They aren't Christian. We've endured this abuse for too long. It's time we let the abbot know we won't take it anymore. Too right. Here. Yes. This has to stop. Let's fix this. Stop. This is foolish. Soldiers are already patrolling nearby towns. If you push against the abbey, you'll incur the Duke's wrath. Stefan, hello. You could get the town razed and everyone killed. Anna's right. The Duke is a powerful force in Bavaria. You're playing a dangerous game, Otto. You lot are no match for trained soldiers. If you don't relent, you'll be ground into the dust like the Swabian peasants. Or you could always grind you up instead, Lenhart. I might be right, there are already soldiers about. I don't know about this, we must stand for what is right. God is on our side. Don't be shy. Speak up if you have cause. We won't be overrun. The peasants of Salzburg were able to take the city and have their cause heard. If the peoples can get the Archbishop of Salzburg to listen to them, then we can do the same with the abbot. Master Andreas, do you think my family in Salzburg is alright? I don't know, Caspar, but we can find out. Alright. Enough is enough. We can't stand by while the abbot continues treating us poorly. People all over Swabia are taking back their God-given rights. Why shouldn't we do the same? A righteous cause. Martin's right. We deserve better. We can do this. Well spoken, Murden. Merv would not consider what he said. Murden has proved dependable these last few. Run that one by me again, but slowly, Otto. But if the words of men can't persuade you, perhaps a sign from a greater power will. The abbot may have locked us out of our own saint shrine, but God has shown me that he is with us. I think that's all I should say for now. Thank you all for coming. Good day, Andreas. Clara, it's been too long. It's lovely to see you again. Hello, Andreas. I'm surprised to see you after your long absence from Tassing. At this rate, we thought we'd never see you again. Aww. Parisian, then I don't know German. Salzburg S in Deutsch, must under the. It might be Salzburg. That actually sounds more right. But, American pronunciation says Salzburg. You certainly did pick an odd time to visit. We're in the middle of a strange season. Ah, you found the Gertners. Your speech was very rousing, Otto. I swear they get better each time. Are you looking for trouble, Otto? Of course not, but I understand what might happen if the abbot doesn't listen to reason. Even so, the people here can't go on like this. Something has to change. Depends on the dialect, it's a Z in German, it's S in Austrian. Well, that's helpful. Concerned for what might happen here, that's all. It's appreciated, but we know the risks. Hey! I understood why many people disobeyed the abbot to get Otto's help to the dig, stood your ground, and said you didn't care. We succeeded at things. We love Otto. Otto, did you really see a sign from God? Is that true? It is, Andreas, I swear. I know. Come talk to me later. I'll tell you what I can, alright? Anyway, Andreas, you and yours should come by the house for supper. We'd be delighted to have you. Sound good to you, Casper? Yes, Miss Andreas, I'm starving. Our table is a little sparse lately, but we'll be sure to feed you well. Thank you. We'll see you there. Aww. Vespers! Go to the Gertners. Andre! Andre! Andreas, you're back in Tassing? Just for a few days. I wanted to pay my respects to Brother Piero. Ah, yes, Brother Piero. What a talent with color. I'm sorry, Andreas. He was a sweet old man, and I talk to him sometimes on my breaks up at the Abbey. I'm surprised Brother Prior Farring didn't give you an earful. Well, he did before the, unpleasantness. I'm sure you know it shook up things at the Abbey for a while. Brother, he made it clear I wasn't welcome at Curacao when I arrived, so yeah. For what it's worth, you're still welcome in Tassing. Anyway. Matthew's prior now. Still strict, but a bit quieter about it. Matthew's always struck me as quite private. True, you wouldn't think piety could be uncommon in Abbey, but with Father Gurnow. No. Are you in with the peasants, Andre? Well, of course. Gurnow has been running them into the ground. On top of that, we can't even use the forest anymore. Many of us used to be able to go fishing in there. Not anymore. How are you going to take this? Well, I don't know. Does me, I'm not leading the thing. But I trust in Otto, and the peasants do too. He's a good man. The whole town knows it. Even Lenhard, though he wouldn't admit it. So Andreas, how's the married life been treating you? After you left here to return to Nuremberg, I assume you married that girl of yours, Sabine? Marriage is a legal requirement for becoming a recognized master craftsman. That's not... I hope the married life has treated you well. I still have not found that one. I fear it's never going to happen. Honestly, don't even bother. It's not worth... Really? Not a single person? Well, when I was in Innsbruck a few years ago, I saw a real pretty girl at the market selling painted pots. I think about her sometimes, maybe more than is Christian. Now, hold on. Go back to Innsbruck. Go back to... What? Really? Do you think Tyrolean men are better than Bavarians? Well, of course not. Based. Then you have to go. Prove it. Show them and yourself what we're made of. You need to go back or you'll regret it for the rest of your life. Trust me. You seem to feel strongly about this, Andreas. But it sounds foolish. Juvenile, you might say. Aww. Poor Andreas. Are you not happy with your life, Andreas? I'm not, but this isn't about me. It's about you. Well, if I have the chance to get back to Innsbruck, maybe I will. Achievement unlocked, matchmaker. Let's go. There's something to look forward to, after all. I thank you, Andreas. You're a man of inspiration. Well, pleasure. Until later. Andreas has the big set. This is fine. It is. We have the big set. Okay, Anna, please. Thank God. You still have my hat. I was worried. Now I'm mad. Hello, Master Andreas. Give me my hat back. Oh, you gotta get home. Alright, we'll be here for like an hour and a half yet, so take your time. We'll be here. God bless you, Andreas. I'm thankful you returned to Tassing after so long. We prayed so fondly for you after you left. Oh, your prayers offset the abbots. Andreas, I'm sure the abbot pays for your wellness even if you left on poor terms. Now, God has allowed you to return. Perhaps he is providing an opportunity for the two of you to reconcile. Perhaps he is. But I will pray that you two come to a swift resolution. You'll miss me wandering around saying hello to literally everyone. So much plot happening in the next 20 minutes. I fear Tassing needs one more than I do right now. Ah, that's right. You were out of speech earlier. Yes, Tassing's peasants are struggling, and now even we townsfolk are pinched by the abbot's new restriction. By the way, chat, there's something very fun, happening here, which is that a lot of games, kind of just go elite peasants, right? This very classical feudal hierarchy where we have the king at the top, we have the nobility in the middle, and we have the peasants at the bottom. This is not how it worked at any point, but by the 16th century, this is super not how it worked. Starting in, like, the 12th and 13th centuries and accelerating in the late Middle Ages, with a bit of a hiccup when all the towns depopulated. When all the towns depopulated in the Black Death, there's a bit of a hiccup, but then it accelerates even faster. There's becomes an urban middle class. You can identify it as early as the 1200s in cities like Paris, but this is pretty universally acknowledged by the end of the Middle Ages. That the peasantry are those who are tied to the land. Right, so we're looking largely at tenant farmers, which are framed, in law codes as serfdom, right? Where you are tied to the land, and in various places at various times, in the 14th, 15th, and 16th centuries, there are massive revolts to abolish this. Then we have a urban or semi-urban professional class of free craftsmen, often members of guilds if you're in urban centers. If you're not in urban centers, you may not be affiliated with a guild, but you're still doing the same jobs as them, who are really kind of economic and social drivers for a large part of this. In, say, like Antwerp, in this period and later, this professional class is going to make up the town guard. Like Rembrandt's The Night Watchman is drawing on people from this class. That's a century later than this, but the premise still holds true in this earlier period. You've got, your bakers, your markets folks, and so the peasantry on the outskirts of these towns are bringing materials in and working it, and then these professional classes are doing more things. Millers are kind of the classic example of this professional class. They're doing book production. They're doing trade. They're importing textile work, spice trade. And basically any job you can think of in the early modern period is being managed by these professional guilds or their non-gilded, less urbanized compatriots. And then you get the divides into monastic hierarchies and noble hierarchies. Exactly. The cooper, the chandler, the cartier, the metal worker, the black, or the fine metal worker, the engraver, the printer, the blacksmith, glasswork, masonry, pot making and painting, artists, etc. This professional class is extremely mobile. As you mentioned, stonemasons usually travel a lot, if you recall correctly. This is true. Andreas is a member of that professional class. He's working as an artist in his Wanderjahre as a journeyman, right? Journeymen would travel in between guilds, or even outside of guild territories, and then be reincorporated into the guilds, either city guilds or regional guilds, on their return and becoming a masterwork worker and opening their own workshop. So, right, there's a lot of mobility in these networks, and even if you're not in, Hamburg's guild, you might still know people from Hamburg who traveled around and are part of that guild. Right, you know a guy, you know a guy. So, there is, this is a super fun bit of class consciousness that a lot of historical media just kind of elides. Right, you maybe have a rough sense of the peasants, and the very loose idea of the peasantry are different from townsfolk, they're muddier than townsfolk, and then you have nobility. But actually really understanding the nuances is yet another point of this game really getting its job. I worry about my husband. He's getting too involved with the whole business. Also, right, these are also not just regional trades, these are global trade routes. Right, 1525, guess what there's a lot of starting to arrive? We are getting close to the potato border, chat. Well, yes, but bourgeoisie, right, you think of that as a 18th century thing, or 19th century thing, not a 16th century thing, because the overthrowing the bourgeoisie is Marxism. But yes, we are not at the potato border yet, but we are rapidly approaching the potato border. By the end of the century, I believe there are potatoes in the Holy Roman Empire, though I'd have to look that up a bit more. We are still in a potato-free zone, though, so don't worry, any Obsidianites that are lurking in chat. We respect your potato borders, and that this game is a potato-free zone. You disagree with Rick? Yes, I do. I love my husband, but sometimes I worry that he focuses too intently on the details. He does not see that he may be both prudent and Christian. I pray that I am not acting selfishly, but the abbot's taxes have affected us too. What about Anna's future? Ulrich has been offering credit to Peter for years, which I've accepted. But now, we can only bake so much bread a week before we go hungry ourselves. Can you talk to him, Andreas? Oh, Ulrich and I aren't ones to hold anything against each other, but I understand. God bless you, Andreas. Ha! Riley, you'll probably be interested to hear... Oh, good, Lucky. Hi, Lucky. How are you doing? Andreas, back in Tassing, I see. Let's talk to Lucky first. In my respect. Your friend. Didn't mind him, was a proper Christian. He was a kind man. God rest his soul. I hope he gives us some peace too. Trouble times. I assume you're referring to Audio's speech? Won't end well. Life's getting harder for everyone, but if this shit goes on, there'll be backlash. A bloody one. Don't like the abbot coming from my fishing rights, but I will make do. I'm not sure if their lives are comparable to ours. I work for my wages like any man, Andreas. We work, we don't complain. It's not Christian. Lucky, I appreciate your theology. Nah. He's probably right that this will end bloodily. You know, historically it does end very bloodily. But, complaining? Eminently Christian thing to do. That's like the original thing. What are Paul's epistles, if not one man complaining to everybody all the time for doing it wrong? I suppose. How is your family doing during these troubling times? We're fine. Agnes is fine. Brigida and Martin are... fine. Martin's become far more responsible a man after his return. I just wish... Paul, so I have some thoughts, and you all have to listen to them. Exactly. Never mind. I wish Wolf hadn't died. Oh. Oh no. No. Oh no. Oh baby. I mourned the boy. All these years later. I'd hope he'd take up my mantle. I wanted to pass on my knowledge and training. I'm sorry, Lucky. I really am. Yeah. Perhaps Brigida will have another while I live. She seems happy enough with Martin. I mean, yeah, finally a game that depicts the high youth mortality, but also... game that hits you right in the part. I'd love to hear the patter of small feet again. A boy to hold a chisel and mallet. A little stonemason making his grandfather proud. I hope your wish comes true. God will it. Enough idling now. Got things to do. Till later, Andreas. Oh, Andreas, how good it is to see you again. And who's this? Hello, Agnes. This is my assistant, Caspar. It's been 7 years. If he was still holding a grudge, I'd be like, hello. What a hell-looking boy. And you, Andreas. You look very well. Why are you back in Tassing? We're being consistent on our story. Pay respects to Brother Piero. Oh, of course. I'm sure the brothers appreciate that. The last few years have been difficult for everyone. We've lost so many. Yes, I heard Bart and Maria passed. Tragic. Yes, poor Klaus. I hope you stopped in to talk to him. He sent you letters. Yeah. Anyway, I won't burden you with all of Tassing's troubles. It's been good to see you again, Andreas. Until later. Until then. We're so... We're gonna visit dinner tomorrow. Oh, we can go into the church. Hello, let's go into the church. Attilia's here. Hello, Attilia. You are that artist who came here a few years ago, around the time of the murder. Yes, Andreas Mahler. Right, I know your name. Did you work for Father Thomas? Work for? I'm his slave. I clean this damned church and keep his house so I have a roof over my head. Around the time the Baron was murdered, I lost my home. That bastard, the abbot, took it from me. Now I have to rely on the charity of the church. I hate the church as much as the abbey. I wish there was a hell so I could send a lot of these holy men there. Wow! I understand. You don't. You can't. No matter. All right. Well, I'll see you later. Fine. Yo! Wait, this church slaps. This is what I want a church to look like in every game, by the way. Every game that depicts anything pre-Reformation, and sometimes post-Reformation, should look like this. Give me the biblical scenes. Give me these pale yellows and greens and reds. Give me the fun floral designs. Yes, we'll look at Our Lady of the Labyrinth in a moment. I just want to shout out the clearly knowing their genre stuff with the ethnicities of the Magi, because it is completely standard in late medieval iconography that one of the Magi is supposed to be North. I don't remember exactly how they describe it, but basically he's a person of color, right? It is 100% in line with, I don't remember which one. I should remember which one. Yeah, I do not, it's gone in my head. But one of the three Magi is always depicted as a person of color, in the late Middle Ages. So, absolutely based of them, they're remembering that. Good research work. Also, these devils are extremely fun, and the Hellmouth... Balthazar? That sounds right. Also, shoutouts to Hellmouth in the corner over there. Also extremely fun. Hellmouths are fun and silly. Oh. Oh, I see why people recommended I look at this. Oh, I understand completely. Look at this beautiful 16th century portraiture style. Background could use some touching up, but yeah, no, phenomenal. We love artistic diversity. I was talking about this literally 2 days ago on our last stream, that I wanted maybe a little more artistic diversity. Hey look, we just got artistic diversity with really, really nice portraiture that is not using print styles, that's using much more Renaissance portraiture styles. It is keeping the flat gold border like it is medieval iconography. You could replace this with an actual background with aerial perspective, and it would still be 16th century. Let's go. What does the labyrinth symbolize? True. What does the labyrinth symbolize? I am confused on that still. That sounds like capital P plot. Also, let's talk to... Paul? Hey, Paul. Paul has a vest. Hang on. Staub. Hi, Staub. Oh, they have a different petting animation for Staub. Hi, Staub. Ooh. More fun things. These are probably in the corner there, that wall hanging, the little tapestry work. Might be silk? In which case it's probably imported from the Ottoman Empire via Lyon. And that is also great. And if it's not silk, if it is other brocaded fabric, that is also still great. Also, solid maybe ray silk, exactly. Of course Len Art has a goddamn gun. Motherfucker. Yep, they've got some rabbits and either quail or chicken hanging up on the wall. Other fun things they've got here. I love the green glazed stonework. That is very nice. And the blueware. The blueware is probably also an Ottoman import. This is a... While you might be seeing some imitation porcelain starting to emerge, that's mostly later. You still might be able to get some porcelain from China, but the blue and brown glaze suggest to me that this is Ottoman. But also, gun. Looks like a wheel lock, so this is like cutting edge gun. I did say it was later. Hello, Master Mahler. Hello, Paul. Meet Gaspar, my assistant. Oh, hello. Do you work with Master Mahler? Have you done real art? Aww. I guess. I've been doing sketches of Tassing while we're here. All art created from the artist's heart is real art, Paul. You don't need fancy paints or canvases to be an artist. Art bros. You think so? Art bros, or it could be Delft. You're right, it could be Delftware. That's another good shout. In other words, it's either an Ottoman design or it's a Dutch design. There are two options. Given that it's brown and not tile work, I am inclined to say Ottoman. Don't know a lot of Delftware, like, dishes, but over his fireplace, it would be extremely in line for him to have Delftware tiling. Sure. We have one apprentice, yes, but what about second apprentice? This is the way. Shh. Not where Dad can hear. Oh. Right. Second apprentice. How's the art going? I've been practicing a lot more. Klaus even showed me a big book full of prints. He said they used a technique called mood cutting. Wood cutting. There we go. Mood cutting. They used a technique called wood cutting. Have you ever done wood cutting, Master Mahler? Nah, I spent a lot of my time learning the fire techniques of oil painting. You're doing illumination. All right, he's moved on from doing illumination to doing oil work. That's fine. Don't use oil paints on parchment. It's not durable enough. It won't stick. We're branching out. Oil work pays really well, yeah. I wish Dad would change his mind about art. Maybe one day, Paul. I hope so. Should get back to helping my dad. See you later, Master Mahler. See you, Caspar. Elsa. Aw. Lenhart. Andreas, welcome back to Tassing. Lenhart? You look well. Not stuck with the gardeners again looking like that, are you? The gardeners are lovely people, Lenhart. Ah, whatever you say. You have such a curious fascination with the peasants, Lenhart. Probably because you don't have to deal with them as often as the rest of us. Bastard. Anyway, you should come by sometime. I'm sure we'll have a lot to discuss. Good day, Andres. Good day. Oh good, we've got our new hat. No, there is literally nothing redeemable about Lenhart. He's just like that. Schlau. Aww. Meow. What a stunning collection of wildflowers. They'll grow so plentifully in the meadow. Yeah, that feels like that might lead to a, murder real soon, doesn't it? This time by the power of God. Shh, we can't. Don't let him know we're here. If the woods are off limits, I wonder why Smokey's still there. Aw, everything's low. You still need a charcoal burner, right? Even what is off limit are the usage rights. So, hunting, fishing, trapping, gathering. But you still need a charcoal burner, just to supply both the abbey and it, so it's like, it's a thing still. They can't even gather sticks anymore. Smokey! No, Václav, where did you go? I need you. Oh, hello, Master Mahler. You're looking well. Thank you, Smokey. How are you? I'm well enough, I guess. Václav went his way a few years ago, which I suppose was bound to happen. No! I miss the company sometimes, but now there's no one to keep me from my gossip. No one to tell it to, either. Have I missed much? Things I could tell you since you left Tassing. We'd be here till Kingdom Come. Oh? God damn it. I did see another Imperial Reich post, courier arrived from the Abbey a few days ago. The Imperial Reich post, a private mail service run by the Thurn und Taxis family and approved by the Holy Roman Empire. Mail. Brother Guy dropped the bag once. It looked heavy. The Abbey must be doing better than that Abbot is letting on. Does that happen often? Once or twice a month. Odd with what the Abbot has been saying about the Abbey struggling. Doesn't help that the Abbot has time restrictions so close to St. John's Eve, too. The townsfolk get up to all sorts of mischief then. Oh no. Mischief! I wager Johann and Kat will find some corner to play in. Again. It's practically tradition at this point. Veronica and Brigitte might go out for a midnight dip by the waterfall too. I've been swimming out there for years. Now everyone's getting clever trying to stay out from the abbot's eye. Rightly so, he's an ass. I didn't see you in the town commons during Otto's speech. Aren't you standing with the peasants? Well, their cause doesn't really affect me, does it? I'm as worried as anyone about soldiers rushing through here, but the new taxes and restrictions don't bother me. I understand why they're upset, but I've been doing fine out here with less than they have. Nothing will change for me if they get their way. And Sausage123D, thank you for the follow just now. Welcome. I see. Well, enough of that. Thanks for stopping by, Master Mahler. The later, Smokey. No. What do I have to do to get Václav, to persuade me to join his cult? What do I need to do? St. John's Day is the Midsummer Festival. Like, the super short thing is that it is a Midsummer Festival that is extremely important, in this period, and, it has a lot of syncretic traditions associated with it. Right, it's the feast day of St. John the Baptist. But at the same time, yes, Jesus' cousin, John the Baptist. But yeah, right, there's a lot of syncretic beliefs that get overlaid with, the feast day of St. John the Baptist, because of course there is. And so with any of these big sort of seasonal festivals, there's a lot of things of dubiously ancient origin, that kind of all run into each other. And we're gonna see those probably next time? But yeah, how do you make charcoal? So, right, what they're doing there is that they're actually covering the fire, so that they're not burning things to ash. They're just trying to burn it enough that you're effectively smoking the wood. Right? You're effectively smoking the wood till all the impurities come out and you're left with just chunks of carbon. So it's a very low level burning, which is very interesting. Hi, Cat. Andreas Mahler? Hello, Cat. Well, would you look at that? You are back in Tassing. And look at you, you've done well for yourself. And who's this? Cat, please meet Caspar, my apprentice. Hello. He's got the posture of an artist, that's for sure. Good strong face, though. I do? What brings you back to Tassing, Andreas? Sausage asks the question, spaghetti every time. Just passing through on the way back to Nuremberg. That's right, he disappeared when you were last in town. Franz passed away a few winters ago, then Wolf. Brigitte and I nearly lost the farm, and our mines. Oh, so that's my... AC, you don't have to come at me like this. But Martin returned shortly after, and he's proved to be a changed man. A good man. He saved us from destitution. I'm so sorry, Kat. I don't know what else to say. I'm sorry. There is nothing to say, is there? He was a good boy. A sweet, good little boy. The stars dimmed when he passed. But that was years ago now. I try not to dwell on it. To be strong for Brigitte, and to find solace in the knowledge that he is with God now. times may be hard in Tassing right now, but God truly does answer our prayers. I'm glad you and your family are well, Kat, despite everything. Thank you, Andreas. It truly is good to see you again, even in the midst of such terrible times. Until later, Kat. His house is super interesting. Was it wood in Act 1 and I just wasn't paying attention? Because it being wooden slats, instead of wattle and daub, is very fancy of him. Hello, Andreas. You think it was? Okay, I was just blind. Oh, hello, Brigitte. That's right, you know I was back. Martin mentioned you were back in town. Yes, the winter without him was excruciating. I lost little Wolf, and Kat was worried that she'd lose the farm after Hans died. But then Martin returned, and he's provided well for us ever since. Despite the tightening restrictions, we've gotten by. I'm thankful. I'm sorry to hear about Wolf. Thank you. I try not to think about it. Kat wants to talk about him all the time, you know. Any night there's clear skies, she looks up and asks if I ever wonder how he is up there. That must be excruciating. Yes, it is. I'm sorry, Andreas, I can't talk about this anymore. My mistake. Oops. I missed a thought bubble. You have arrived home just in time for us to talk to Martin. Hi, Martin, who is definitely Martin. Andreas Mahler, good to see you again after all these years. As you say that, your parting words to me back then were hardly kind. Were they? It's been so long. I don't remember. It was pretty rude. Well, sorry for being such an asshole back then. Nothing. Don't worry about it. What happened to you anyway? Oh. Right. You know, I stole some of the Baron's things. I didn't make it far with them. I tried to sell them in Valgau, and I got robbed. Serves me right, I suppose. Luckily, they didn't find the coins I was carrying. The money carried me around Bavaria for another month and a half. And I started stealing. I grew bigger, more confident over time, and became a highwayman. And that's what made me quit in the end. I had a partner for the last year of my adventures. We tried to rob some Italians. We thought they were merchants traveling under the banner of St. George. He's an idiot. St. George, 2nd century Praetorian Guard and patron saint of England. And lots of other places. He's most famous as the patron saint of England, but he's also the patron saint of like half of Europe. He's most well known for his legendary victory against the dragon. Yeah, he deserved it. Going up against anyone with a banner of St. George, the odds are that they're mercenaries. They could be almost anything. They could be almost anything, but especially mercenaries. Yeah, also patron saint of Ethiopia. Also, there's a big statue to him in Prague. Also, where are the other places? There was one not that long ago. Oh, that I saw. Yeah, I saw. Lost it. Oh, no, sorry. There's big ones. There's big statues to him or paintings of him in Denmark. The castle in Lisbon is named after him. He's all over Europe. He's patron saint of, like, he's probably one of the, if not the most popular saint after the Virgin Mary. Ooh, I'm glad you did, I'm glad we're getting to this part that you've actually seen. So, or that you did the work on, so, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how we're executing on the threads Act 1 set up. Purple ink. Purple ink guy. Purple ink guy is at the very, very top off camera right now, with 2 stars, a list of who has received purple notes that we know, and just giant sloppy handwriting. Edward the Eighth had Andrew David Patrick George as part of his name because it was necessary to bring in all 4 patron saints of the British Isles. Well, duh. They were not. They were soldiers guarding the property of an Italian bank. My partner didn't survive the encounter. I was wounded and alone in the wilderness. I thought of my father, my mother, Brigitte. I realized I couldn't remember Wolf's face anymore. I had to come back and take up the responsibilities I had left behind. It's good that you did, for everyone's sake. You may be right. Mom and Brigitte couldn't run the farm after Dad died. Maybe it's for the best that he wasn't here when I got back. All in the past now. Just need to look forward. My speech I gave back at the Commons. You need support. The townsfolk are just committed to opposing the abbot. Not gonna lie, Adam, you're saying purple ink guy in the same vibe as phone guy from FNAF. Also should not say purple ink guy, because firstly there is a character named Guy, or Guy. No. Don't bring that iPad in there. And also, I don't know who's writing it, and we're not going to assume gender for this game. So, purple notes. Just commitment here, going forward, purple notes. Their name is Purple Notes. The PIP. The purple ink person. Exactly. They have less to gain and more to lose if the abbot chooses to get the Duke involved. Anyway, I have to get back to work. Good talking to you, Andreas. Alright, until later. Alright, the pip it is. When in doubt, we're speaking of the pip. Bleh. Poor Attilia. How are the Battlelands doing? Hey, alright. Hans? Hey, Andreas. Rumor you were back. Hello, Hans. Me, Casper, my apprentice. Hello. Hello. Are you from Nuremberg like Andreas? I'm from Salzburg. Is that very far from here? Not too far, I think. 3 days to the east, on horseback. I've never been outside of Tassing. Or ridden a horse. Tassing's a wonderful place to live. I guess some of the men in town say it would be better if the Abbey weren't around. You have to contend with a lord. That's hardly better. You might be right about that. What do you... I don't know. Could be nice to have a change. Be careful what you wish for. Change does not come peacefully in the Empire. I guess we'll see. Until then, Hans. Johann. Andreas Mahler, didn't expect to ever see you back in Tassing. You look like you've done well for yourself. They look like it's, the Prime Purple People Rider. I like it. It looks like you're getting plenty to eat, which is more than some of the families around here can say. Bees! Sorry to hear that. How have you been? Well, things went well for a while after you left. Widow Kemperin lost her land, and the abbot let us work it. My brother's heart gave out not long after, but then Martin came back to help work the land. Even so, it's been hard to keep up with the abbot's demands, the taxes, and everything else. A lot of people are stuck with it. They have good reason to be. I know you didn't get on well with the man either. Brother Matthias never let things get this bad. Anyway, good to see you, Andreas, even if you are just passing through. Till later. Bye. Is there anyone else in the oh, we need to talk to Werner. That's what we need. Central Town. We've already talked to the Albans, we've talked to Lucky and Agnes. North Town. How are you liking... Werner Stoltz, how are you liking having the Rathaus right next to you? Yes? Oh, Andreas Mahler, how unexpected. I'm very busy at the moment. Another time? Later then. Jerk. Nice place though. Very nice place. Look at how brutal the medical tools are. And the new house. Who is it? Who are the Isenkopf? Oh. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. I understand why you wished for me to come over here. Balthasar Isenkopf. Professional... Well, this is becoming a right old... Salutations! You must be that wonderful artist, no? Master... Andreas Mahler, yes. Wonderful, wonderful! Balthasar Isenkopf, at your service, but call me Balthus, please. It's much more familiar. You've been in Tassing long? Just a few seasons. My cart broke down, and I found the place so charming I decided to stay. I enjoy the quiet, but I must say I do miss the company of other intellectuals. Usually good Dr. Stoltz and I whittle the hours away in the evenings. So naturally, when I heard a well-known artist had returned, I was beside myself. Of course he's going to become English. What other accent could I possibly do for a man this, English? Exactly. Famously English name Isenkopf. What do you do? I'm an inventor of sorts. Really? What do you make? He's an eccentric. That sounds about right. All sorts of things, young man. Mechanical clocks of all sizes, metal mice that skitter about, even light without flame. Really, Andreas? Andreas. How would you not understand how a mechanical clock would be useful? Well, thank you, Andreas. I knew a fellow artist such as yourself would appreciate my work. Well, back to it. You know how it is for us few. A call to a higher art. Good luck, Balthus. Until I don't think electricity when he says that. Right, that's not it. I'm not sure what it is. Hopefully he elaborates on that. Right, but the odds of that referring to inventing or discovering electricity and how to use it somewhere between 2.5 and 3.5 centuries before that happens. Glow in the dark paint? Yeah. It could be potentially some sort of photoluminescence, but I do not know. And I will be curious to see if he elaborates. The metal mouse skittering sounds like some good automata. Yeah. Yeah, it does. 'Tis the season for automata. Now, kerosene's not in this period yet either. Alright, let's get going. The gardeners await. Finally, plot. Hello? Alright, first things first. Hello? Hello, Ursula. Do you remember me? No. Should I? No, you were very young when I was last in Tassing. I boarded in your parents' house. Oh, the artist. Andreas, right? Andreas, right? I think you told me a story once. You drew me a flower, too. I still have it. I keep it tucked with my stockings so I won't lose it. Mom and Dad sometimes talk about you. They said you went away for more training. What was that like? Well, while I was in Aragon, I learned a new technique to make color. Andreas, you're so bad with children. She's nerd. No, not about the art, Andreas. About your travels. All right, all right. Ooh. Ooh. How exciting should we make this? Chat, how exciting. This one I think is going to be more fun, but this might have some nice, like, spice to it. People? 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 A giant? Exactly. Okay, people. The ports are bustling with Saracens and ships full of gold coming back from the New World. Fine. Fine, we get the actual historical thing, including historicaling. Honestly, hardest choice in the game so far. Kids missing out on the good stuff. I know, I'm missing out on the good stuff too. But also, New World. And Ottomans, or, well, Moroccans, North Africans, right? Amazigh people. Still the Barbary Corsairs. You still might see some Corsairs running around. Was it standing on a hill? We're one generation too early. Raptorus, we are 20 years too early for that joke to really hit different. Because it is not outside of the realm of possibility while traveling in Aragon to end up visiting Alcalá de Henares, which is Cervantes' hometown. But he was born in the 1540s. So we're 20 years too early for that joke to really hit different. Mom said a dark man from Abyssinia visited once, but I was too little to remember. She said he was a Christian and lived in the abbey with the monks. Yes, Brother Sabat. He was just visiting, delivering a gift to the abbot. He told you a story too, up in the shrine to St. Moritz. Do you remember? I don't think so. He sounds interesting. I wish someone interesting would visit. Oh. I'm right here! I'm right here, Ursula. Wow! We just got rolled by a child. Just getting hit with the question mark. Like, didn't even have to speak, just hit us with the question mark out of nowhere. Incredible plays, Ursula. Andreas, can I ask you something? Of course. Do you know the stories about Perchta? In Germanic folklore, the Wild Hunt is a supernatural cavalcade of spirits and fiends which may cause destruction or portend war and other catastrophe, if not adequately pleased. The Wild Hunt is often led by legendary figures such as Perchta, or the Devil. Or, if you're in Scandinavia, Odin. Yeah, this is another thing that happens on the Feast of St. John, is that this is when the Wild Hunt is most likely to appear. Right? Seasonally, right? You have All Hallows in the fall as the Harvest Festival. You've got Walpurgisnacht in the spring as the springtime May Day Festival, basically. And you have St. John's at Midsummer as all points where these are supposed to... The barrier between... of the war between angels and the sort of ethereal plane, that's D&D terms, but right, the immaterial and the material gets very thin, and the war between angels and demons swings in favor of the demons, and so things like the Wild Hunt can show up. Yes, and also Tartarus Tromir, you are correct, and also welcome. Frau Holle is another figure in more northeastern Germany that'll show up as the leader of the Wild Hunt. Also, various other vaguely wintry spirits across Eastern Europe. And, yes, variant spellings of Perchta is Burgta. Variants because there's so many variants because standardization is a joke. Standardization is fake news and to get you to buy more dictionaries. Embrace chaos, regional variations are everything. So yeah, we get Wild Hunt time. God, I'm so excited. This is normally... Exactly, this is a scan by Big Dictionary. And Raptorus, by the way, that's not a joke. American Standard Pronunciation, or Standard Spelling, is a scam by dictionary writers. Webster. Right. Noah Webster is one of those figures. And he just invents language. Not language. He will just change spellings of words when he creates his dictionary. Oh gosh, what year is that? Early 19th century. In the early 19th century, when he is working on the dictionary, right, he will just insert letters into words to make them look more aesthetically pleasing. He will cut out letters to say fuck the British, which honestly, fair. And will generally write a lot of the weird garbage spellings that we see in modern English is a direct result of people like Noah Webster writing dictionaries and getting them in every school in America. So, I think the word though is one of those really good examples. Because, yes, he did not invent the idea that it should have O-U-G-H in it, but he certainly codified it, because why would you spell it T-H-O-U-G-H when you could spell T-H-O? Literally Big Dictionary did standardization. So embrace chaos, embrace variation. Little. I didn't learn about them until I lived here. Why? Are they bad? Bad? How? Well, my grandpa tells me things about Perkta and spirits and charms. And the old woman, Attilia, she talks about them too, and says all these words I don't understand. She told me they're part of the old ways or something. But, okay, chat, here's another thing. Normally, right when the wild hunt crops up, you'll see me kind of roll my eyes and be a bit suspicious of it. Same with all sorts of vague paganism. Cough Cough is Sanskrit Valhalla Cough Cough. I have an entire stream with an expert in the Scandinavian wild hunt. It's somewhere in the YouTube channel. I don't remember exactly where. It was the Oscar Reyes seasonal event with Pablo Gomez de Miranda. So there's one of that is on the YouTube channel. Technical quality's a bit scuffed. But, right, I was suspicious of it in that stream because Wild Hunt in the 9th century feels really, really dubious. Not impossible, but I am always suspicious of things that claim pre-Christian origin, because a lot of it we can't trace back to pre-Christian times. There's no there's no ancient descriptions of it, and there's no maybe an attestation of the word, but no descriptions of the practice from descendant communities of that culture, and like descriptions don't usually show up until like the 16th century. Guess what century we're in? So I have literally zero problems with the Wild Hunt showing up here, because it being attested in 16th century Southern German folklore, regardless of whether you assign it a pre-Christian origin or not, is 100% plausible. Also, for Mountain Astray, I spell both of those council with an E. I do have, like, council with an I is non-standard for American English. Oh, Council is a thing, and then SEL being a different thing. Yeah, that checks out. But SIL I've never is not like a standard spelling. Yeah, council as in city council is CIL. That's a different thing. That's fine. Yes. Anyway, they're part of the old ways or something. So, why do you think they're bad? Well, my dad says that I shouldn't listen to any of it. He said it's nonsense and that Father Thomas would be mad. He said he only tolerates it with old people because they're too stuck in their ways. I don't want to get in trouble, but Grandpa says if I don't learn the old ways, they'll just be forgotten. So, are they bad? Are we based ethnographers? Chat, I know what you're going to say. This is a true sentence. Embrace heresy, yep. There it is. Help future historians out. Record history, Ursula, always. Yep, chat is unanimous. Really? I don't want to get Ursula in trouble. Aw, we nearly didn't help Jakob Grimm find... No, fuck Jakob Grimm. Jakob Grimm has done me so much harm over the years. He's objectively extremely interesting figure, but Jakob Grimm has done so much harm to me over the years. We can help someone more based than him. Well, we nearly blew it. Chat, we nearly blew it. Told an ordinary travel story. Tragic. Jay Pascal, hello. We have just convinced a small child to do heresy. We are a good influence. Oh, that makes sense. Thanks, Andreas. Until later. Hello, Veronica. What are you doing here? Hello, Andreas. Good to see you back in town. Hello, Veronica. How have you been? Oh, pulled every which way. Mom's been a cow about when I'll get her grandchildren. As if I'm not doing enough work already. You're married now? Oh yeah, I guess you wouldn't know. Figuring that. Aww. Figuring and I were married 2 springs back. Thanks. No, Mom's nagging me about when we'll have kids. That's what I keep telling her. Maybe you should talk to her, Andreas. If it comes from someone as successful as you, maybe she'll pay attention. Anyway, I should get back to work. We're all preparing for the festival. I'll leave you to it. Until later, Veronica. See you, Andreas. Alright, Il Peter. Hello, Il Peter. Oh, it's you. Just from a few years ago. Yes, Andreas Mahler. I'm surprised you remember me.
Everyone seems to think my mind is going, but it's still as sharp as a nail. Dream makes nails, you know. Like that.
Right.
Are you staying with my family again?
No, I'm staying at the Golden Hand.
Our misers charge just as much as the pilgrims for that drink, but won't support my son in his cause. That new abbot must have gotten to him, the bastard.
Why do you hate the abbot so much? Because he's a bastard.
Everything went to shit after Father Matthias died. That man, God rest his soul, never increased taxes. He might have asked for a tithe in harder winters, but we were happy to help the abbey then. We could take from the forests as we needed. Brother Florian used to help us in our illnesses. Let us follow in the ways of our forefathers. A true Christian, that old abbot.
And then?
Father Gurno promised you would keep everything between the abbey and us peasants the same. And we were foolish enough to believe him.
Hey! Another fun thing. Peasantry in this period were extremely aware of their social obligations. And whenever a new lord rolls up, they were aggressive in renegotiating. And if someone didn't hold to their bargain, well, there's a lot of power dynamic issues that can prevent uprisings. But yeah, if you're asking the peasantry to do something outside of the agreed upon bargain, don't be shocked when things don't go your way. Yeah, no, they were really good about the negotiations, and so when a revolt springs up, one of the first things that happens, I'm going to use the peasants' revolt of the 1380s in England as an example here, but one of the first things that happens is that the peasants, led by Wat Tyler, etc., targeted manors with records. Right, because the destruction of those records is the destruction of the unfair social bonds. Like, they were extremely aware of the importance of documentation and of maintaining these agreements really precisely. And so, inner archivist goes opaque. The base class consciousness is based, and, they are representing this so well. Alright, Zoe, have a good time. We're probably only going to go through this scene because I have to get ready for an evening shift at work. But, we're happy to have you. We'll pick up with the plot soon, TM.
At first, he refused to allow Florian to come down anymore. Taxes got higher. He stopped allowing us to pay in goods and livestock. Now he only takes coin, so that we can come by enough of that in a year to pay our rents alone.
Oh, hey, also an acknowledgement that coin economies, while they're trying to set them up in the Renaissance, are ultimately a fiction that doesn't respect most people's lives.
The bastard doesn't give a damn about us. Not how Father Matthias did.
Well, Grin has been an ass longer than I thought.
Ha! You should talk to my son. You should help him stop that bastard, Abbot.
I should go.
Ah! Alright.
Hi, Ursula. Hi, Big York. Hello, Andreas. Hello, Andreas. Clara!
Hello again, Andreas. We're about to sit down to supper. Care to join?
Would be my pleasure. I think we've seen everyone.
It's truly a blessing to have everyone back together again, if only briefly. Keep an eye on that boy of yours, Andreas. See that he minds how much he takes. Young boys eat too goddamned much.
Peter, stop that. Andreas is our guest. Why don't you lead us in grace? Fine.
Bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts which we are about to receive from your bounty. We pray again for our beloved Christina, God now these many years. Please help me protect my family in these difficult times. Through Christ our Lord, amen.
Amen, 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 amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Master Andreas, why are we the only ones with bread?
Quiet, Casper.
Andreas, it's so good to have you at our table again. And with another guest. Is this young man your assistant?
Gaspard, yes, he is my apprentice.
Ah, that would explain why I saw him writing in that little journal. I remember you did the same thing when you lived here.
A little bit of cheese, a little bit of rye bread, and fresh pottage. Everyone else is just eating pottage.
Did you still draw in your journal, Andreas?
Aww. We're gonna be a naturalist. We're gonna be a naturalist.
Mom said you know a lot about the proper names for birds and fruit. Look at how cute she is!
Oh, can I adopt Ursula? Can I adopt Paul and Ursula? I can afford it. Right, I've had a successful career. I want to just adopt all the kids that need help.
The proper names for birds and trees and things.
Ahem, ahem.
How nice that you have the time. And we toil our day on that despicable abbot who's starving us all while he sips on his sacramental fucking wine.
Very often, Dad. He's only just got here. How have the fates been treating you these last few years? Hey, classical references.
The Lord is testing us with another hard season, I'm afraid. That's one way to say it. Been miserable as shit all around. Maybe you should be resting, Grandpa? If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna do it sitting up at my own goddamn table. The whole family's been ill, Andreas. Peter, his father, and Ursula with an ague, and me, well. Clara lost a child in childbed in a year now.
Tragedy. I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you, Andreas. It was some time ago, but, well, such things linger. It was monstrous. Monstrous.
Don't think about it. Just keep the conversation going.
You're already thinking about it. Please leave me alone just for a while.
Oh, fine. Just for a while. Surely the child is with the Lord now.
The Lord doesn't seem to look our way any longer. That's why it's time for us to take matters into our own hands. We're eating not at the table. Do you think? He's right. Please, can we not talk about this now?
Oh. Oh.
Jorge was married while you were away, Andreas.
Yes, I heard.
You and Veronica make a good match, Jorg.
Yeah, thanks.
Jorge has been good to me. There aren't many other options in Tassing anyway.
It's been a couple springs, but I'm still not used to being married. Congratulations, York. I'm happy for you. Thanks, Andreas. It's been our one blessing in the dark season.
With children soon to come, I hope.
Ha 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 ha. What? I don't get it. Ha 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 ha.
Do you? Oh, forget it, Ursula. What have you been up to, Andreas?
I hope Ursula's not still sickly. She sounds like she's coughing from the egg, and I don't like that. But we have a half of medical degree. We can help her. We can help her, right? What should I say? My life seems so far from theirs now.
Don't leave them waiting. I can't think of anything.
Nothing but my miserable little problems.
I think you're rude if you don't say something.
Yeah, these are all bad. Andreas, you're hit with the big sad right now, and I'm sorry. This seems like the least bad of. Blame the foreign patrons. Yeah, Peter's going to love me for that. He's going to love me talking about a foreign patron. I don't want to throw Caspar under the bus. He's a good kid. I think number 2.
I'm not interested in tales of your charmed city life. Ursula, maybe you should excuse yourself and rest. You're sick.
But Mom, I'm still hungry.
Here, Ursula, you can have mine. It's not fair that nobody else gets any bread besides Master Andreas and me. Stop! Ursula, give it back to him. I'm not going to have people in this town saying we can't feed our goddamned guest. Besides, we all have work to get back to, don't we? Good. Time to get back to it, Andreas. We'll see you and your boy later.
My apologies, Peter. We don't mean to overstay our welcome.
It's alright, Andreas. He's just in a bad mood. It was lovely to see you again. Yes, thank you for coming, Andreas. Will you be staying for St. John's Eve?
I think so.
Good. Hopefully we'll see you later.
Not until then. Ursula? Ursula, we are...
Look, I know they won't accept the money. But I'm going to give them so much money because I can afford it, goddammit. We don't have to be this way.
St. Nicholas the shit.
Exactly. You understand me, Raptorus. Oh, good. The Anchoress is alright.
Sin of Saul.
The first monarch of Israel. According to the Old Testament, Saul was divinely rejected from the kingship after disobeying the prophet Samuel's instructions. Oh, the sin of Saul! The sin of Saul! Master, did you hear that? It sounded like someone crying out.
I think it's Sister Amelie. She's a mystic. She may be having one of her visions. Sister Amelie, are you alright?
The Philistines. This is the hand of God. Compline. Compline.
Sister, is something happening at Compline?
It's Compline right now. No!
Sister Amelie?
You're the artist, Andreas. What did you see? See? I don't remember. What did I say? About the sin of Saul, the Philistines, and Compline. Oh, I wish Father Thomas were here. Would you like Caspar to go get him? If he could, yes. His house is just around the corner. Caspar, run and get Father Thomas. Yes, Master Andreas. Your son? My apprentice, but I think of him like a son. He seems eager to please you. I feel his devotion is misplaced in me. He sees you as a father, and he wants to honor you as any Christian child should. But as Paul told the Ephesians, fathers must not provoke anger in their children through ill treatment. I have little advice for mothers and fathers that does not come from Scripture. My world is one of spirit, decoupled from the march of life and death. I see and hear your world turning from this little window, but they are mercifully small glimpses. You chose a difficult life. The life is not difficult, but the choice was. My life belongs to God, and its trials are mine to endure in this cell. Your world is the world of normal lives and normal thoughts. It can be difficult to hear the divine, much less make sense of it. I have no will to be part of that world. I strive to have no will at all, but to subordinate myself to the will of God. When my will is God's will, when my will is His will, He graces me with visions, confusing though they may be. Is that a hole or a mattress? Both. Oh. What? Sorry, what? When did we... I guess we do have a half a theology degree, don't we? This is the first time I think we've actually seen our theology degree come into use. Bridal mysticism! I'll check my ex libris. Alright. I don't think we're able to do that right this second, are we? No. I do not believe we're able to do that right this second. That is a bold thing to say, Master Mahler. Where did you hear that? An English mystic. He... read it in a book. I had someone make a translation for me. Yup, Marguerite Kemp. I am glad you have an interest in spiritual matters. But these are not words to speak lightly, nor ideas to speak lightly of. The revelations we experience can be terrifying to us and to those who witness us experiencing them. They are not dreams, but waking visions of the greatest divine forces. Sister, what is that hole in the ground? My grave. That seems macabre. I dug it before Father Thomas read me my funeral rites, before I was enclosed here. I dig it a little more in it each day. Yup. Welcome to anchorism. Most people find it shocking, but this is my devotion, my vocation. Once someone finds their calling, they must answer it fully. Well, we have the big sad. We have the big sad with these options. We're trying to dig to Australia. That's smart of them.
Three is definitely the we're playing the Persona game answer here. But I think we're in a confessional mood. I wish I could give a helpful answer, but I don't know. I felt that this was my calling before I could admit it to myself. Is your calling in question, Andreas? Is your life? Both, I think. I've lost my love. My love for art, love for family, love for anything. The last 7 years have been hard. It was all too much for me. Don't lose hope, Andreas. The human heart is no small thing. It can hold so much. Augustine? St. Augustine of Hippo was an early Christian philosopher, theologian, and bishop of Hippo Regius, born in Tunis. He is recognized as a doctor of the church and is most known for his works The City of God and his autobiographic Confessions, as well as his development of the doctrine of original sin. We're a nerd. Andreas, thank you for sending Caspar. She asked for you. Are you alright, Sister Amelie? Yes, Father. I may have had another vision. Andreas says I spoke of the sin of Saul, Philistines, and Compton. What do you think it means, Father? Andreas, Caspar, could you excuse us? We appreciate your help, but I must tend to her now in the church. Of course, Father. Good evening. God bless you both. Master Andreas, I'm confused. What did all that mean? I'm not sure, but the last time I heard Sister Amelie have a vision, it was just before the Baron was murdered. What? Do you think... Could Sister Amelie be receiving warnings? Oh boy. Perhaps there's a medical explanation for a condition of fever, St. Daphne's fire? Skeptical. Nah, that's too simple an explanation. There are layers and layers of divine messages. I mean, being a skeptic in a fictional game where it is clearly having things is probably prudent, but also an incorrect choice. Now, revelation with real power or prophecy could be understood plainly. The meaning must be hidden or implied. Sounds complicated. Come, Caspar, let's retire for the evening. The second vision. Aren't oil lamps layer 2? Depends on how you define an oil lamp. Like an open lamp with a wick, very much in this period. One, right, saying basically the one in the bottom left there, but with oil instead. Not in this period. This is much more comfortable. Nico is good as his word. Yeah, pillows. Let's go. It's getting late. We should get some rest. Go to sleep. They both have nightcaps. They're great. Big stretch. And... I expected us to get lost in the dream cities again. St. John's Eve, meet Illuminata at the library. That sounds like a job for us to do tomorrow. Chat, this has been awesome. We've had the big sad, but we've also had a lot of very fun history. I'm super excited to see where they're going, because right, we need to talk about historical sort of frameworks at some point, and just how much interpretive work your framework does. That might be a good job to do, maybe not next time, but the time after. Because, right, you can do cultural histories of this, you can do book histories, you can do social histories, you can do psychosocial histories, which are not the same thing, but are related. You can do religious histories, and they all are going to give you different things. And the fact that the game is anticipating that and accommodating that, or also political histories, military histories,
micro-histories, etc. Right, the fact that it's all anticipating and enabling that, it feels. We'll see how well that holds up. But Rosvar is doing a really good job, so we should actually dig into that more in depth. I also need to expand this, because there's a lot more that needs to happen here. There's a lot more conspiracy before we get to the bottom of this. We're going to keep digging. We're going to find the donut's hole for this donut, or the whole donut hole for this donut's hole, and we're going to accomplish so much. Ursula as a suspect? She's already on the board. That's enough for her. We're not going to do her dirty like that. She's on the board. But yes, it will unfortunately be a little while before we come back to this game. I think 1 week from today is what it looks like. Because coming up, housekeeping stuff. Saturday, we're going to have more God of War Ragnarok. And then on Tuesday, December 6th, we're going to be returning for the actual final last time for reals this time to Assassin's Creed Valhalla as a final summation, wrap-up, and enjoyment of the final chapter. Ursula has the great purple handwriting since she was a baby. T-Chef. What a take. But yes, we are going to... So we've got a lot of Viking games coming up later in the week. A lot of gas, a lot of happy fun times. And then we will come back to this and look at what the heck's going to happen on St. John's. Because that's going to be a time. It's going to be a time. Alright. As always, if you did enjoy this and have not done so yet, do make sure you follow the stream. So that you're notified when future things happen. And if you really did enjoy this, do consider heading over to patreon.com/LeoHistory. Link is in the command in chat or up on the screen below. To consider supporting the channel to make sure we can keep making all of that happen, right? So yeah, anyway, I hope you all have a good rest of your day, and until we see you next time, have a good night. Okay? Bye-bye.